Hi everyone, it's Sarah from Spitfire Audio, and in this video I'm going to walk you through our newest release, Spitfire Swarms. This library is a compilation of 3 of our pre-existing Swarms libraries. So for those of you who are new to our Swarms concept, this is inspired by pointillism, which is a neo-impressionist art form. And in this art form, images are composed of tiny little dots that the artist draws, each discrete. And if you zoom in, they're just dots, but you zoom out and you get a full blend that comes together to form this final image. The concept of swarms is really similar to this. We essentially, in these recording sessions, bring in ensembles of the same instrument, and they all play short, discrete notes. But when it all comes together and blends together, it forms these longer, continuous tones. And the result is beautiful textures that are amazing for cinematic sound design. So this is our initial harp swarm patch. As you can see, we have 4 different articulations. One is the long tremolo. We can control the tremolo intensity. So here's what that sounds like. Slower tremolos, looser. So you can hear the crossfade is really smooth from the slower tremolos to the fastest ones. We can also play with dynamics. So here's the full dynamic range. There's a really nice shimmery thing going on down in this lower dynamic range, but higher pitch range. This is just the first patch, and there's so much to explore. I want to show some of these glisses. So we have a patch for these different scales. I'm not going to show all of them, but let's listen to the dominant 7th scale. This is the long glissando. It's like a waterfall. It's cascades. Moving on to my personal favorite ensemble, the mandolins. So this is a big one. This is 18 mandolins, charangos, and ukuleles with ribbon microphones spaced perfectly evenly between each pair of instruments. So let's start with the tremolo. This is right out of the box what we have. It's the shortest release. Let's hear that with the long release. Just depends how long you want that tail to be. I prefer it short. Let's listen to the different speeds. As we get higher in pitch, it does feel a bit more distressing at this dynamic and speed. A high anxiety, high tension feeling here. So this long tremolo is pretty free-flowing in terms of tempo, but we can also control the tempo at 90 or 120 BPM. I can only imagine how hard that was in the recording session for all 18 players to do this perfectly in time. But then again, I don't play these instruments, so maybe it's not that crazy. No, I think it's crazy. Okay, let's listen to the different tremolo speeds. This is the mandolins. at a slow speed. Here's at the default speed. Compared to the harp tremolo. Back to mandolin. Slightly different timbre. I think the mandolin probably stands out more in an orchestral mix, or any mix for that matter. And let's just hear the slow speed of this tremolo. In these slower speed tremolos, you can really start to hear the individual players stand out. And I think it's really fun to play with the different speeds because, in a way, when you think about this pointillism concept, it's like we're kind of zooming in and out on the individuals. I really like using this library to build ramps like that, and to build emotions. Again, you can really evolve the sound in an evocative, interesting way. So in this next mandolin patch, we have all these players playing the same chords, but in a very random tempo. That sounds really nice. I feel like I'm floating. Let's hear my favorite one with all the mic positions. So here's the minor chord, the aleatoric minor chord with the close mic. The tree. My personal favorite for this patch, the ambient. Then the outriggers. That actually has a really nice combination of the intimacy of the close mic with the width and space of the room of the other microphones. Finally, folks, I think we're ready to talk about the marimbas. This is incredible. The marimba is such an amazing instrument. 9 marimbas in Lyndhurst Hall. It's a dream come true. Honestly, guys, it's a dream come true. Let's get into it. Tremolo with a hard stick. Then we have some rolls, which are really similar to the tremolos, but they're more controlled. So here's the medium stick. Then we have hard stick, medium sticks, very hard stick. Let's hear that. I want to show you something really special, and this is the way the roll sounds at the lowest dynamic. That is brilliant. You can hardly tell what that is. All you can tell is it's more of a feeling than a sound at that point. It's very ambient, but then let's hear how it sounds as you increase the dynamic and start to understand what you're listening to. Well done, everybody. The team effort. Before I go, I would like to see what it sounds like to make a swarm of swarms. Just really quick. let's see what we can do. So let's get some harp swarm going. A long tremolo, please. No need to be so intense. Let's add the mandolin swarm tremolo. I'm going to do a chord here, and I'm going to play with the dynamics and the expression. I want to start this with the mandolin swarm chords. And then I definitely want to add the marimba roll with a soft dynamic. In case you were wondering, here's what a swarm of swarms would sound like. All right, that is it for this video. This library is incredibly inspiring. There are so many ways of using it. You don't just have to build a swarm of swarms. This library can be super useful when it comes to adding textures to your scores, whether that be orchestral or not. It's amazing on its own. Be really experimental with this. And so a really quick overview of what you can get out of this library, but there's a whole lot more than what I showed. So I really encourage you to check it out. So I'm going to wrap it up there and leave the rest for you to explore, because there's a lot of fun to be had here, even just right out of the box upon initial exploration. So go crazy, have fun, and just know that 9 marimbas in a room. It's a sweet deal. Okay, thank you for watching. This has been super fun. I really enjoyed playing around with this library. Please let us know if you have any questions in the comments below.